Hey, I'm Siri3, and today I wanted to talk about how I store my threads. I get asked a lot what the best way to store threads are, and my answer usually is various different ways, because not all of my threads are stored the same. For example, most of my DMC threads are in your standard bobbin boxes, and I have them all on this literature organizer. Some of my threads are on floss drops, and I have those up here on jewelry holders. Some of my threads are still in spools, and I have them in a spool holder. Some of my threads are still on the skein, and I have those in drawers that I right there, just out of reach. My point is, there is no right way. Store them all different ways, however makes sense to you. But let's get a close-up shot of some of these storage options for you. So where do I keep all my threads? Well, let's go through all the different spots. Here at my desk, right under my monitor, is all of the DMC DM-up threads. And I even have a little container over here for orts. Backing up, over immediately to the left above that monitor is all my specialty threads. So I have the Rainbow Gallery, Threadworks, Gentle Art, Classic Colorworks, Color and Cotton, Weeks Dye Works, more Classic Colorworks, Dinky Dyes, the Karen Collection, some Sullivan's threads, and some specialty ones like I believe this is Be Stitch Me and Stitchy Ferret. So those are all there hanging on what is essentially a jewelry holder, like a necklace holder. Over here I have some overflow Kranich spools and some thrifted threads, ones that I don't know the numbers to. In here I have some Perle cotton, some Zelkova Japan threads, and like a random off-brand thread. I got this little container at Aldi, and I love it. In this IKEA pack, I usually have my whips, so you'll see my Q-snaps in here. But I also here keep the mini thread boxes, which right now I don't have too many kitted up, but this is where I kit up my current projects. I usually have 1 or 2 projects per box, and those go in here. And you'll see there's more at the bottom. Here are some of my Cosmo threads, the ones actually on Bobbins. I have a Kranich color list here, and then this one is my small collection of, there's Anchor variegated threads and some Sullivan's threads there. But this little thing works perfect for whips. Absolutely recommend it. I also have this giant spool thing. This is a silky box, but it's mostly Kranich, let's be real. I do have some Cosmo Nishikito in here, some Bijou, some Accentuate. This section over here is actually Sulky, but most of it is Kranich, the original smaller spools. And then I have this magazine holder, literature organizer is what they called it. And this is where most of my Bobbins go. Some of these are kind of empty because they're kitted, but I have the entire set of DMC, all of the DMC variegated threads, and all of the Moulin Etoile and Light Effects, and even some silks. And then I have the entire set of CXC threads. The DMC are in number order, the CXC is in color order, which makes it easier to find what colors I'm looking for. And since CXC uses the same numbers as DMC, I can then cross-reference. Down here, The last one here is, well, it has my Cosmo color sheets, but this last one's actually my anchor thread box, so these are all my anchor colors. And then I have those here because we'll get to the Cosmo threads in a second. That's the literature organizer. It holds a dozen thread boxes easily. And then sometimes if I have loose skeins, I can put them in here. But for the most part, it's just the boxes. Immediately above it, I have my Mill Hill beads sorted by color and then labeled by number. So the blue ones are frosted, and the green ones are antique colors, and the white ones are just the plain glass seed beads. I don't have a lot of each because I got a variety pack with just a little bit, but if I need some for a specific pattern, I can order more. But if I want to design a pattern, I can easily pick out the perfect color. Immediately above these are more thrifted threads. These are the thrifted threads that I actually know the numbers of, but might be old dye lots, and thus I don't want to mix them in with my normal DMC threads. Finally, we have my Cosmo chest. On top is this box from Snuggly Monkey, where I ordered all of the Cosmo seasons. I have all the 8,000 and 9,000 series, but I haven't put them away yet. And that's because I still have them all on Skeins. I have the entire Cosmo set, but no Bobbins. I did get some acrylic dividers printed, so I will be able to divide this up just like one of these thread boxes. But I don't have any bobbins yet. I've ordered bobbins. They will be here eventually, but in the meantime, I just have these sheets of legal copy paper dividing it. So if I'm looking for a color, I can just lift up this entire sheet and move it out of my way. But I have 3 whole drawers full of Cosmo, and it's going to look so much better once I can bobbinate them all, but in the meantime I'm enjoying the colors. So all of my thread is easily accessible from my desk. My specialty threads, my current kits, standard threads, Cosmo, everything. But that's not the last of the thread. So if any of my bobbins run out, I come over here and I have 2 of these, and there's not much light over here, so I'm sorry. But I have 2 of these full of photo boxes, and they're labeled. So this is the early 700s, and these are all my backup skeins. I have at least 1 or 2 of each color between the 2 boxes. That way I never run out. And then I also have, on my photo station, I have a few threads that I use primarily as photo props. Let me turn on this light. That I use just as props in my photos. And then this camera mount can easily be moved around, and the camera can be turned at different angles and so forth, which makes it really easy to take photos. Now that we've gone over all the different ways that I store my threads, what about how do I take inventory? Well, lucky for you, I recently put out an article with a whole list of Google spreadsheets that I use to keep track of my inventory. And that includes a whole bunch of different brands from DMC, CXC, Anchor, Cosmo, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art, Color and Cotton, Classic Colorworks, Krennic, Sullivan's, even Mill Hill Beads. So head on over to my website, I'll link it down below, and you can have the spreadsheets. And a lot of those lists also have like actual photos of the threads for metallic and variegated threads, so that you're not guessing at what the color might look like. So that took literally years to put together, and I'm giving it to you for free. I will link that below. And I would like to know, how do you store your threads? Because everyone does it differently, and it's always so interesting to learn about. Whatever you decide to do, though, keep creating.